check. Because I don't have help at the moment, which is fine. Because somebody's taking the rest that they need, as should you. I'm going to try and do a shorter one than usual today. So, away y'all. Tell Elise Agent Sky House my thanks, push tab, Hollywood, Sam, Matt, Mashiba, Murphy. I'm just going to go straight into reading. I'm going to start because I woke up this morning looking to do a nice, chill, fun one. And then, like many people, I got some more bad news. So this is how I'm dealing with it. Integrative Hypnosis, a comprehensive course in change, by Marissa Tears. Now, firstly, I'm not going to non-consensually hypnotize you. I'm going to explain before I do this that when you speak to somebody else, you're kind of already doing that. That's just the way things work. That's the way our brains work. I can go into that another time when I have more of that. But seeing as y'all keep insisting on working, I'm going to remind you what it's like to not feel rushed. And it's literally you just tapping into memory, because memory is the only way of doing time travel. I'm learning everything today, huh? Those of you that pinged for a second, you can tell Frank I said hi. Chapter 6, The Elman Deconstructed. Melissa, I would like to start off the day with a little trance. So everybody get comfortable. I simply want you to remember a really good trance. And I don't know where you were when you were feeling really good, and what you were doing, thinking, hearing, seeing. I don't know how good you're feeling now, as you remember how easy it is to alter your state. That's right, remembering how your body feels now, noticing your shifting breathing, good learning, process, inside now. Some people believe that learning is a state of trance. And I don't know about that, but I think it might be useful to think of learning easily. Now, because your unconscious understands more than you know consciously. Integrating these things into every aspect of what you do. We're going to be learning a lot more today, and you'll find that each and every process goes in the right way for you. And there will be some things that you use more than others, and you can let it be easy and insightful, as it is when you're curious about what you can do. And you can learn in many different ways, on many different levels. That's right. Let it be easy. So, feel how good it feels. Notice whatever sensations you're feeling. And you can remember things differently now, effortlessly, because you already know everything you'll need in order to process this new information with the old information in such a way that works for you. Come on back with a smile, ready to learn and have fun. So, you're being reminded now of what happens when you remind your body how to go into a state of relaxation. I work with all my relations, and so therefore all kinds of animals, human and otherwise. And my clients at Mantrapet, which is focused more on anything that's not human, because I needed a break from working with humans for a while, for the reasons we're seeing right now. I work a lot on what's called settling. Emily Laurelam of Kiko Pup is somebody that has really spread that a lot, and I developed what I do off of them. And it's literally teaching any species to induce their own state of relaxation, which is what you're doing right now. In a little bit, and the reason why I teach settling, especially because I do so much work in the city, is because, and I know how this is, I have a tendency to try to relax, and then all over the place. And you guys are probably all feeling that right now. Mark did a video about trying to do 100,000 steps in a day. And this is, as somebody who used to walk an average of 5 miles a day because of my job, average. Sometimes I'd walk 8, sometimes I'd do more. It was nice when I got to use my bike. I'm looking forward to biking around after all this. We do these things to ourselves because we live in a constant state of, see, as I talk about it, I start getting, so we're going to bring that back down. And we're going to release that. Good. Because the next things I'm going to talk about are about what's going on right now, and that's going to be hard, but I need to keep my chill, because otherwise my mornings are going to be stressful. And I specifically design my mornings to not be that way. And my next videos coming up are showing you how to do that too for free. It's very easy. I normally get paid like $100 an hour to do this for a living, but you're getting it for free. I don't care who you are. Just use it. Spread it around. Because what's coming up for all of us is the ability to just be free and chill. Be nice if you guys would just, come along with it, okay? Jiwei means come into this conversation. Species that are unable to adapt perish. And we're a very adaptive species. Look how far we've come. But one day we decided that we wanted convenience over the ability to adapt for ourselves. And I know, Nakam Lamu, my heart starts going like this when I start talking about it. Nakam Lamu. But you can talk back to it. Nakam Lamu. Just saying my heart. Recognizing what you're feeling. And then that just goes off into its own way. We've become a species that tries to hold on to all these waves and control them. Ours and everyone else's. But they're not yours to hold on to. And so, if we keep trying to go the route of the level of convenience that we demand at the expense of others, more people will die. And our species is already never going to be the same. People don't necessarily realize it yet because you're all in a state of shock and still working through it, which is why your adrenaline is still up. This is basic behavioral sciences and biological sciences and how they intersect, which is intersectional sciences. Which, as any human being, be you indigenous mix or not, you know and understand, but you've been conned for a while by the people that have it. And now you have the chance to shut it down. So you can take care of yourself and anyone you care about. And for those of you out there that don't care about yourself, please. I don't typically use that word. Not because I'm not thankful, but because of how that word has become, what it has become. Which usually doesn't sound like asking nicely for anything. So I'm going to ask really nicely. Could you all please let the convenience store workers and the construction workers who are building your buildings and stadiums and giving people their one-a-day habitual cigarette, beer, coffee, whatever, and I'm not shaming those things. I'm not. We all have habits. We're all learning how to better take care of ourselves this year. Part of the way that happens is the people that are working there, people that I love, Look at you, Vegas, and all the cities around you, every other city in town, anywhere, that still has people working in this. We're sending people back to working in this. UK. Well, in India. You are just, which means thank you. You're doing amazingly. Just keep doing that. To everyone else that's lying to one another throughout this, you gotta just stop. Oh, I'm getting down to a minute left. So, Jersey City, your alternate side parking. Please don't kill people with your ignorance and your need to do some sort of habit that can be held off so people can heal their plague on. The numbers just jumped again. And what are we doing for our reses, Indian reservations, and for any other country that has anything similar? Our homeless are incarcerated, ICE. And how are we going to stop the grocery stores from being open? So I'm watching POC teenagers running around with no protection, serving you. So, look, I love you all. I love you all. Thank you all. This did get rough still at the end. I'm going to stop this before it makes a terrible noise. Because I don't believe in punitive, punishing, oppressive, intimidating systems. But this is what happens when you treat people like this. If you agree with any of this, or if this helped you in any way, please share this. If you want to see more, you can subscribe and click buttons. You know what to do. I don't feel like I should have to ask you. I know we're always mindlessly racing to the next thing, but my hope is we can all stop and talk. And so on that note, please respond. I do care what you have to say, because right now I wake up every morning the same way many of you do, of messages from people I love, scared and upset, and coming out of their own shock and understanding and recognizing a little too late what does and goes on in this country and everywhere else, and how it has to change now. And that's up to you. So, if you want to be a Nujisase'wamugwa'teget, one who changes things, a wizard, there's links below on Stargate. That happens on 4/4, which is, I believe, tomorrow. I hope you all will join in your own way, because this is how we change everything, and this is how you take your next or first or whatever steps into being whatever is meant to of you. You get to learn about yourself and about what you are and what you're capable of, and your mntu, your spirit, your magic, because you all have it, whatever kind it is, because all that diversity is needed. How else are we going to just learn everything there is about one another if we're omitting anyone or anything? And I think we can do that with personal boundaries, not borders, boundaries, and respect. So, didn't this end nicely, despite all the horrors that are going on? And you can help stop that by staying home, telling others to stay home. And while you're home, you can think of wonderful ways that we can empower people to stay home and be fed. Because we are a brilliant species. And I'm sure the species around us will help us with that. I hope you're enjoying your beginning of spring in the best way that you can. And yeah, stack of books. So many books, you have no idea. If we get through this, I'll read more of them. I had planned to. Just let me do it. Stop rushing around. I'll do more story time.